So in high school, there were some occasions where I struggled along with my classmates to grasp whatever was being taught. Sometimes it was due to a lack of our studying, other times it was due to our lack of paying attention. And then there were some cases where we genuinely didn't understand the information that day. Before the bell rung, the teacher would ask, "Anyone have any questions?" And no one would say a word. All of us, including the teacher, knew good and well that we all had a ton of questions. The teacher had the right to be frustrated, and all of us left confused, knowing bad grades were sure to come. I always flash back to that time when I started working with a new client. I always make sure to ask plenty of questions, not to be nosy and pry into their lives, but to get an overall understanding of the person I'm working with and really what are we about to get into. I'll ask personal questions to gauge the mindset, then I'll ask specific questions related to the event we're preparing for. You want to do your best to know the ins and outs of what you're about to get into, and the only way you can do this is by asking plenty of questions. I never want my client to walk into a situation blindly. But not just any questions. Like with many other aspects of the speaking process, you have to ask the right questions. You have to have a goal in mind and then know how to craft the questions that will help you achieve that goal. As a speaker, you have the right to ask a ton of questions because ultimately it's your reputation that's on the line. Plus, you want to give your audience the most useful content possible. Event organizers also welcome questions because it helps them be reassured that they picked the right person. So for instance, one of the most obvious questions you should be asking if you're booked to speak at a conference or any type of event is how long will I be speaking for? You have to know how much content you need to come up with, and you want to know exactly how long you'll be speaking on the stage. Most people initial nerves set in when they realize the amount of time they have to talk, and that's why knowing this information right off the bat will really help you out. Knowing what to expect ahead of time will ultimately prepare you. Approach this game like it's never just another talk, because it's never really just another talk. Each time you're given an opportunity, it could be different from the last. When you're speaking in front of different audiences, it's natural that you will encounter different expectations. How do you know how to give your audience what they need in that specific moment if you don't inquire? Why would you want to put all of your audiences into one boat and treat them the same? So with that being said, I always ask, what would you like for your specific keynote to achieve for this specific audience? I'm putting this emphasis on specific because yes, I'm asking a question with each client I work with and I'm getting a different answer every time. So if you're a speaker and you're asking this to an event organizer this very same question, you're bound to get a different answer to the same question every time because expectations vary from person to person, and varying answers is something that you should always anticipate. It makes each keynote you give truly unique. Anytime you're agreeing to speak, you should be seeking information out. It should be information that will help you provide the best experience possible. A good host that's asked you to speak to the audience will do their best to provide you with as much useful information as possible from the jump, but that doesn't always happen. So when it doesn't, never feel like you should perform based off an assumption. One of the keys to you and your audience being on the same page is for you and the creators of the event to be on the same page. They've probably done a social media marketing. They should have spread the word about the event already. So an expectation has been set and it's ultimately on you to deliver. You're one of the most delicate and influential pieces of the puzzle. So if you aren't sure about something, it's okay to ask the question. It's okay to ask the same question multiple ways just to be sure, because ultimately it will be to your benefit and your audience's benefit as well. If you found this tip useful, please like it and share it. Comment on it as well and let me know what you think. Until next Monday, my name is Julian Leonard and this tip was brought to you by the J. Leonard Group.